or at least seeking elected office early on in their careers. And, we should encourage them, because a lot of us old guys that are out there, they understand that we don't have that many more years to commit to service, and we need these young folks coming up, young men and young women coming up through the ranks and stepping up to serve. That's what the Bible tells you to do, okay? If you don't know that, you need to go back and read it. The Bible tells you to be active in your civil government. The Bible tells you to render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, to show respect to authority, but it also tells you that you're supposed to serve. I teach a 12-week course on how to do that, okay? And I'll tell you, everybody needs to go back and do their homework. God created the institution of government. He didn't create anything that was bad, okay? That means that we got to make it right. We got to make government work for us, okay? Now, we got another young man that's coming up here right now who's a Yale graduate, NC State football player. Wow. This guy is on fire. He's on fire for this country. He's going to be running in the 13th district for Congress next year. Please give a warm welcome for Hines.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much for that. It's really a pleasure to be here today, celebrating the birth of the greatest country in the world. But, about 4 months ago, I started this journey. My team and I have driven over 50,000 miles across the central western part of the state since then. I met with thousands of North Carolinians, and I had one experience 2 weeks ago that really resonated with me. I was in a small diner in Davidson County with my fiance, and we're sitting there having breakfast. I do the typical politician thing. I work the room, introduce myself. And, I'm talking to the waitress. I said, I'd love to meet the owner here. And she runs back to me and she goes, he's busy in the kitchen. We're short staffed. I come back here and, I'm there and I'm giving my 2-minute spiel. I'm giving a stump in the kitchen of this restaurant. And I can tell as he's going back and forth across the stoves, grabbing ingredients, that it's going one in here. It's going one in one ear, out the other. I can't blame him. He's trying to make a living. So, I just stopped and I said, sir, I promise to work for you. And he looked at me and he said, really? He said, I've had a lot of politicians promise me things throughout the years, and this is the first time I can say I can actually hold one accountable to the promise they just made. I said, really? I said, how's that? He goes, how about you go grab that skillet and flip that omelet for me over there? The reason that resonates with me is because there have been many promises made. For the past several decades, politicians come around every election cycle. They promise us they're going to be fiscally responsible. They promise they're going to win the cultural war. They promise to secure our border. They promise to reinvest back into our communities. And most of all, they promise to secure our rights. So a lot of empty promises. We have to look around where we are right now. We're $30 trillion in debt. We have biological men about to compete in female athletics. Right. We have rampant illegal immigration, crumbling infrastructure. We're watching our rights be stripped away before our eyes. Right. And make no mistake about it, there's a youthful coalition in the Democratic Party pushing a radically far-left agenda. And we have nothing on the right to counteract that. We have great leaders stepping up. We have great patriots in Congressman Cawthorn. We have the best lieutenant governor in the country.
Nice.
But at the same time, it's going to take a group effort. We all have to step up and fight for those shared values that we hold near and dear to our hearts. And I can tell you this, when we all get to Washington, we're going to fight for our First Amendment right to speak openly and honestly. We're going to fight for our Second Amendment right to protect ourselves, our families, and defend against the tyrannical government. And we're also going to step up and fight for the rights of the unborn, which have been neglected for 30 years. We've had enough. We can't give any more ground to the left. And that's why we need young leaders stepping up to lead the charge on that. It's absolutely imperative that we recruit young people into our party, and our campaign's hoping to lead the charge on that. But thank you guys so much for your time today. God bless you. God bless North Carolina. God bless America.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Wow. Thank you.